Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? It's your boy, Markman is here. Yes, I am sick. Yes, I sound like a frog. That's just how I woke up sounding. I knew my voice was gonna be rough today, but we're gonna push through. But season 8 is here. The wheel is back. And it's about time. It's about time. Oh, hi, Garlips. Welcome in, buddy. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm on the downside of it. I'm recovering, thankfully. Repairs to my honor. Hopefully the extra ass in the air will help my lungs a little better. But I'm at the point where I'm getting all the gunk out now, so at the very least, I know it's only another day or two, and I'll be back to normal. But yeah, let's get into game of the week. So we got SSX Tricky. This is a game that I played in high school, and I love the shit out of it. I never owned it, but I love this game simply because you could do the silliest, goofiest fucking tricks on a snowboard. Like physics breaking, spin the snowboard around your neck like a helicopter, goofy ass tricks. And I thought that was really fun, and especially because Tony Hawk was so well received that I thought this would be a good kind of kickoff to that, especially since it didn't get picked up the first time it got nominated. It got left off of the overstuffed wheel and then vanished into the ether, and I was like, oh no. But yeah, going right after Tony Hawk. It's a fun, silly game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to mine too. I might do mine tonight. I kept it real simple. Kept the rules real simple on this one. Alright, we're just doing one stage, one event, and that event is the single player where you're supposed to do all the tricks. You just do all the tricks before you get to the end of the course. And I don't mean all the tricks as in you have to go down one by one and do every single trick, but you're trying to get as many points as you can before you get to the bottom. So in menu order, you're going to select single event, one player, show off mode, Garibaldi, and somewhere in the middle there you'll pick your character. Because I forgot Mac exists, we're doing Eddie, Elise, and Moby. Honestly, they're all in their default stats. We're not doing any upgrades or super snowboards or anything silly like that. So frankly, there's not a whole lot of difference between the four characters. And so Mac being left off, we're not missing out on much. Yeah, but we're getting 2 practice runs of the game mode that we're competing on. So we're not going into practice or tutorial or anything like that. We're just doing 2 free runs of Garibaldi and show off. Your score won't count and your timer's off. And then once you're done with those, if you want to go in balls deep raw dog. I ordered Mac and Elise, but with the Mac left off. Yeah. Love me some Mac and Elise. Yum yum yum. You get 2 hours to get your best score in. Your scores are logged once you reach the end of the course, and so you can always go back to your high score or the top 10, and you can see what your highest score was. And any run that you have started before that 2 hours hits, you are allowed to finish, and that is signified. The announcer will go, and that's when you go through the gates and start your run. As long as that's happened before the 2 hours is up, you're free to finish. And then yeah, submit your highest score to the bot on the Discord. More detailed rules are on the Discord. Garlips did a wonderful job of writing them up for us. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions, or if there's anything missing, we'll amend them. We'll clarify. He's just sitting there at the at the stage select screen, just waiting. Okay, now. I did pull up the manual so we can take a quick look at it. There it is. SSX Tricky. All right. So there's Eddie. And what we know how to use a PS2. We know what buttons are. I'm sure we can figure out how to use a menu. Push X to confirm. Triangle to go back. Alright, now here's the controls that matter. Alright. The L2 and R2, or L1 and L2 are for different kinds of grabs, as are the R1 and R2. So when you're jumping, you can do different grabs, and those count as different tricks. You can push up to build speed, left and right to turn right, and push back to slow down. The menu. I can't handle the menu. I'm submitting a 0. I couldn't get past the menu. Start is to pause. Left stick is to turn left and right, just like left and right on the D-pad. The right stick is to push opponent, but in show-off mode, there's no other opponents. It's just you. And then square is the adrenaline boost. And so as you complete tricks, you build up the adrenaline meter. And if you need adrenaline boost, which makes you go faster, and then you can hit a jump and go higher, it spends some of that adrenaline. So what ideally what you'll want to do is hold down square right before you hit a ramp, and then hold down your X button and let go of the X button to jump. I think Tony Hawk's the same way, where you have to hold down the jump button and then let go, and that's when he actually jumps. It's the same way here. So you want to boost into a ramp, jump really high, and then you can do more big tricks and refill that adrenaline meter sky high. And then once you get the adrenaline meter to the very top, right here you can see where it says big air and big tricks. New Uber tricks take airborne stunts to the next level. Once you get your adrenaline meter maxed out, that unlocks your Uber tricks, and those are the big points, and Run DMC will come on to remind you that you have maxed out your adrenaline. You do a trick and then tweak it further with another button. Yeah, I think you can do that. I'm not quite sure. Let's see here. To bust out some simple tricks on the mountain, press and hold the X button to crouch, and then release to jump before you reach the end of the ramp. While flying in the air, press and hold L1, L2, R1, R2, perform the grab, and then release to prepare for landing. Yeah, I haven't played this game in a long time. I did a little bit to test, but I wasn't really taking it seriously. Alright, so we don't need this. Setting up a single event. So like I mentioned on the menu, you want to go to single event, you want to go to single player, and then you want to go to show off. So show off. Show off your sick tricks in this all aerial big air display of show and tell. Just be sure to cross the finish line only after you score the most points with the best tricks. Show off facts. Successful tricks require successful landings. It might have looked good in the air, but it won't count if you land on your face. Very true. Make sure you abort your trick early so you can make sure you land. Tracks unlocked during World Circuit don't matter because we're only doing one track. All of us wear underpants like that so people know where we're from. Yeah, good old Moby. I mean, I don't have anything that has the flag on it. I'm not a good American, I guess. I don't know. I think it's embarrassing, to be honest with you. Shh. High up in the air on each course are snow crystals. They're very bright and very obvious. Jump and grab one to boost the style points for the trick you are performing. Yellow doubles your points, orange triples them, and red multiplies your points by 5. Each show-off locale is set up with more objects on the course that do not normally exist in race mode. Also, every course has several checkpoints. If you cannot pass a checkpoint before the time on the bottom of the screen runs out, the race is over and you lose all your points. Passing a checkpoint adds time to the clock. I've never had trouble reaching the checkpoint before the time. Like, it seems like it gives you plenty of time in Garibaldi. Knew there was a reason I came aside from the behinds. You can win medals in show-off events in World Circuit mode. We don't care about that. We're not doing World Circuit mode. We'll show off. Stay focused here, game. Okay, here's your character select screen. There's Eddie. You'll find, yeah, only Eddie, Elise, Moby, and Mac. But Mac has been banished to the Shadow Realm. So only Eddie, Elise, and Moby. You do have a trick book. Shows you what tricks you need to perform to unlock uniforms. Don't give a shit about that. We're not unlocking uniforms. Alright, here's your select menu screen. Right there's the first stage, Garibaldi. Hi, Stormy. We're going over the book, the manual. Welcome in. Alright, so here's the complete controls. So there's default and pro. With the pro configuration, you cannot turn while crouching, but you can use the left analog stick to perform flips and spins. The actions listed below are for the default controller configuration. When pro configuration is on, press and hold the triangle button to activate the combat cam. I don't think we need combat cam because there's nobody else to combat with. So, turn left and right and spin in the air. This is the D button or left analog stick, left and right. Build speed by pushing up. Speed check, so slow down by pushing down. You can grab your board with the top buttons. Crouch, press and hold to crouch. Release to jump is X. Adrenaline to boost on the ground is square. Tweak, there you go, Garlips. Tweak is square, so you can do different stuff. And it goes right here. We'll get into it. On the bottom right. Oh, my mouse is showing. Okay, good. It wasn't showing earlier. That was weird. Anyway, so you can push an opponent. We're not pushing opponents. Don't worry about that. Cancel crouch with the L3. I didn't know you could do that, but that's good to know. Reset border is the select button. Pause game to start button. So I think reset border is if you get stuck, you can push select and get pushed back onto the track. Anybody can fly down a mountain. Not everyone can fly over one. Throw yourself off a cliff, stick the landing, get ready for the next big trick. Okay, grabbed air tricks. Start your aerial assault with the stick grab during mid-air flight. Press and hold the X button to crouch as you approach a jump. Just before the end of the jump, release the X button to take off. While in the air, press L1, L2, R1, or R2 button to perform a grabbed air. If you want to get real funky, press 2 or more of these buttons at the same time to perform more complex grabs. So yeah, you can mix and match the top buttons. There's not just 4 grabs. To tweak a grab, press and hold the L1, L2, R1, or R2 plus the square button when the adrenaline meter is not full. Because if you do that, then while it is full, then you do an Uber trick. I had a copy of SSX, but then I thought I'd exchange it to rock around all right on time. It's tricky, tricky, tricky. I don't think this... I did not get any DMCA checks when I tested this on stream, so hopefully that little soundbite isn't enough to get anyone in trouble. Vanilla chai tea today. As your body falls closer to the snowpack... Oh, sorry. Here, I forgot to finish this sentence. Your body twists as you perform the trick, increasing the difficulty of sticking the landing. Remember, you must perform the grab, then tweak. Exactly, I know. I might get a DMCA check just for reading that. As your body falls closer to the snowpack, release all buttons and level out the board for a smooth landing. You may faceplant a few times before mastering this step. Yes, you may. That's what your practices are for, and it's probably going to happen well into your 2 hours. Just make the best of it. Rotation tricks, 180s, 360s, 540s, whatever. You do the math. Just be sure to bust it out with some serious hang time with a rotation flip or spin. Press and hold the X button to crouch as you approach a jump. Press and hold the D button left and right to spin left or right. Release the X button to jump. When you get close to the ground, release all buttons to prepare a landing. To perform a flip, press and hold the X button to crouch as you approach a jump. Press and hold the D button up or down. If you press and hold the D button diagonally, you flip diagonally. This is a tougher trick to land. Release the X button to jump. When you get close to the ground, release all buttons to prepare for a landing. Always prepare for a landing. Always. Advanced tricks. If you think you're big time, combine your sick moves during a trip over a wild jump. If you're good enough, you can also change your grab hand while in the air or pull off a combination of right and left spins. Check out these advanced tricks and bust them out on the hill. Learning about jumping, I'm into it. Oh, Streaksy. Welcome in, Streaksy. So we have a switch, a trick pulled off with your opposite or goofy foot forward. Right foot forward for a regular footed rider. Late. Throw out a grab or a spin during the early stages of a jump, and just before you land, bust out with another last second trick. Fakie. Land a trick with your goofy foot forward. No extra points are given for switches, lates, or fakies. They are worth the same as their regular counterparts, so there you go. They don't do shit. They're just there for fun. And then you have the tweak. Press the square button while performing a grab to execute the tweak move when the boost meter is not full. Tweaks are merely a style variation of the grab. Tweak tricks include unethical, sinful, and madness. Ooh, spicy. Rail riding. Snow is not the only terrain to ride in SSX Tricky. Jump up onto a rail or a similar obstacle, logs, fences, and rail ride it down. If you really want to show off some moves, jump off the end of a rail with a trick. There are plenty of rails in Garibaldi to grind on. To rail ride, press the X button to jump on a rail. It's that easy. D button left or right to rotate counterclockwise or clockwise on the rail. Use the left analog stick left or right to adjust your balance. I didn't know you could rotate while you're grinding. That's cool. When you fill up the adrenaline meter, the Uber disc rotates, and it's an all-out trick fest for every kind of boarder. Take airborne stunts to the next level with a high-flying, gravity-defying Uber trick that will leave your competitors in awe. To bust out with an Uber trick. When the Uber disc starts to rotate, that's when you've filled your adrenaline meter. Press and hold the X button to crouch as you approach a jump. Just before the end of the jump, release X to take off. While airborne, press and hold L1, L2, R1, or R2, and the square button. Hold it. Uber time. If the adrenaline meter is empty, you can still pull off an Uber trick just as long as the Uber disc is rotating. When activated, the disc spins for 20 seconds, and you must perform the trick within this allotted time. Each successful Uber trick fills up a letter in Tricky. Once all the letters are filled up, you will have infinite adrenaline. And once you've filled up Tricky, that's when Run DMC comes to let you know that it is tricky to rock a rhyme. They knew this was all about the tricks. To be fair, they delivered. Yeah, they did a good job on this one. Every character has a unique Uber trick that they can perform when riding on their default board type. For example, Eddie can perform his character-specific Uber trick on any freestyle board. It's his default board type. Perform a character-specific Uber trick with the L1 plus the L2 and then the square button when playing as Zoe, Brody, or Elise. For all other characters, R1 and R2, then the square. So if you do Elise, L1, L2 square. For the other two guys, R1, R2 square. And like for Eddie, Eddie's is pretty cool. He does the worm. Alright, so here's the game screen. And let's see if we can't zoom that in a little bit. Alright. So here's the race place, which isn't gonna matter. We're not racing. Uh, Here is the distance between you and first place. That's not gonna happen. I think it's just gonna give you your time. Your score is up here in the top right. On the left here, it's really faded, but you have a map of the course, and it'll tell you how far you are into it. Bottom left here, oh, I'm sorry, bottom left has your time and your current speed. And here's your tricky meter. The adrenaline here on the right fills up, gets to the top, and then the letters start filling in. And then once the disc starts spinning, that's when you're going crazy on tricks. You start doing crazy shit. And apparently down here will tell you if you're bored and goofy foot. Alright. Pick up some points by pulling off some sick tricks during your trip down the hill. The bigger the trick, the bigger the reward. If you keep trying the same trick, the trick points for that trick decrease. So try something new. You've got 4 top buttons, and you can do any combination of the top buttons for grabs. So just go nuts. They're all different. Yeah, just have fun with it, Stormy. Get out there and give it a shot. There's a few jumps in there that are real, like, you don't have to go crazy on, but you can still get a lot of air. And that's the fun part. Let's see. Yeah, I already explained the adrenaline meter. Oh, yeah, here's something important. Adrenaline decreases over time and when you fall. The longer you ride without jumping, the more your adrenaline meter decreases. It also decreases when you press square to use it. So, try to manage it and keep it high if you can. Here's another important thing. The pause menu, you can restart. If you, like in Garibaldi, there's a huge drop right at the beginning of the stage where you can get massive points. If you biff that jump, there's nothing wrong with just restarting. You're not going to get penalized or anything, but your score's not going to count unless you hit the bottom of the course. So keep that in mind. Let's see. We got anything else in here we need to see? We're not doing practice. We're not saving and reloading. We're not doing crazy stuff. The credits. Alright. Oh, NBA Street's coming out. It's in stores now. Go get it. NBA Street. Copyright 2001, Electronic Arts. Alright. So, SSX Tricky Scores are due March 18th at midnight at your local time zone. Yes, bitch. Game. And then next wheel spin is March 11th, which you can find on the wheel channel. And hopefully I'll get this moved over to the wheel channel. I just lost my login credentials when I got a new PC. So I'll connect up with Kythius one of these days and get logged in. That's really all I gotta do. But yeah. That's it, guys. Have fun with it. It's a fun game. I really enjoy it. You're welcome, Garlips. And yeah, ask any questions in the Discord if there's any rules issues. I don't think there should be now, but you know, famous last words. We can go over it 100 times, and there's always going to be something that somebody finds. So that's just how it is. I have given up on trying to put out a perfect rule set. It's impossible. Someone will find it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the wheel's back. We're here. Have fun, everyone. We'll see you around. See you on the Discord. See you in streams. You know what? I didn't stop and think about who we have to raid. And I don't have shit set up to raid right now, so I'm just gonna dump off. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.